Hello everyone, I'm Shashi and welcome to the second episode of e-logue. The title of this episode is Exams and Anxiety. I'll be speaking with some of the students who have and some who will be appearing for university and other exams. And we'll get to know how they are dealing with exams and COVID related anxieties. Our first guest for today's episode is Pushpam Verma from Bhagalpur, Bihar. She's currently pursuing her studies from Women's College, Ranchi, Jharkhand. She's a geography honors student and soon she'll be appearing for her final year exams, which will be in a written format and for which she'll have to physically go to her college. At a time when everyone is being asked to stay indoors, students are being compelled to go to their exam centers to physically appear for their examination. So let's hear Pushpam's views on it. Welcome, Pushpam, to my podcast eLog.
Thank you for inviting me to be a guest on our podcast, and I am highly applaud.
Thank you. How are you?
Fine.
And what do you think about this entire situation?
My feeling is like this COVID-19 pandemic situation has created a chaotic condition and pendulum situations in the society right now. The people have been highly fatigued due to this pandemic situation.
And now that you have to go to your exam center to appear for your examination physically, how are you feeling in the sense like what are your fears?
Uh, Mixed feeling of slightly anxious and quite excited also as I'm going to meet my friends over there and after a long, long time.
Mm-hmm. And what else? Are you feeling
And
afraid?
yes,
So, what kind of fears you have?
it is totally a feeling of emotional and kind of physical tension. So, and students tend to experience fear of getting infected with the virus that is resulting into anxiety, stress, and depression. But it's a feeling of emotional chaotic situation, and I am feeling like stress and at the same time overwhelmed also. There's a feeling of sadness, fearfulness also. But I am excited to give my final year exam.
Okay.
I'm more excited and interested to give this to give my final year exam.
Okay. And what's your parents' reaction?
My parents are highly worried, like how you will handle the situation. I mean, but my like my father is also in the field of education, so he know that it's a crucial time for all of us. But what to do? It's necessary to appear at the examination and to get the final year degree. Then after only the door for the competitive exam or the students want to indulge in some of their interested field, they will be open for us after getting our degree. So
Yeah.
I genuinely want to appear at the exam.
Okay, that's good. And what are your classmates feeling?
Uh, Now in this crucial time, they are feeling the same, but we know that we are quite caught in such pandemic situations, and chances are there that the students get depressed easily. But we should utilize this time wisely. So me and my friends do a lot of crazy stuff together while we are stuck at home. We do call each other, talk about each other problems, and in a relaxing way. We do video calls and see each other and just poke each other like in a different manner and feel quite energetic. We never let each other down.
Oh, that's so good. Is there any advice that you would like to give to other students who are similarly appearing for their final year exams?
Yeah, first of all, I'll say like all the very best. Relax, do exercise at home, listen to some soothing music, watch movies, read books like Though the syllabus are very tough, but I know we all can manage. And just all the best. And just adopt all the precautionary measures that has been also advised by the medical team. Maintain your social distancing. Wear gloves and masks. That's much necessary for us. Carry your sanitizers as well. So
Thank you.
that's what
Yeah.
I want to say.
Okay. Thank you, Pushpam, for sharing your views and being here with me on my podcast. Wish you all the very best, and I'm sure you'll do well in your examination, and all the best for your future endeavors. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Our next speaker is Shobhit Kishore. He's from Patna, Bihar. He's a mathematics graduate and he's currently pursuing his MBA from Xavier Institute of Management, Bhubaneshwar. Hello, Shobhit, and welcome to my podcast, e-logue.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm doing fine. Just stepped in my MBA life and getting along with it. So, yeah.
Okay, that's good. So, what are your views on these final year exams? Because the students they have to go to their respective colleges and give a pen paper exam. So, are you through with your exam, or you are yet to appear for your examination, your final year examination?
In this regard, I was really fortunate that my exam concluded in February only, after which all the lockdown happened.
Okay.
And after that, I got the admission in the college. But now I studies of this new course, and at the same time, they also have to manage the exam of the previous college.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a term we use called FOMO, fear of missing out.
Yeah.
So what happens is that they have to miss certain classes, certain webinars. So we have this hectic schedule in MBA where we have to continuously attend classes and webinars. So what happens? They have to prepare for the exams and they have to appear for the exam. And in the course they miss these webinars and class. So they get really FOMO'd.
Uh-huh. So it must be really challenging for them to balance both the things, like, until the exam is finally over. So, what is their mental state apart from, like, how they're trying to juggle, between these
It
two?
was hard, but
Mhm.
I would really say that college really helped them.
Okay.
Our faculty were really supportive.
Mhm.
They sent the recorded class to these students, these particular students only who missed them.
Mhm.
And I also saw that now they are really managing it very well
Mhm.
because what is happening that they are from different universities. So certain universities have already concluded with their exams. Certain are still going on. Certain have practicals left. So now what I see that they are really cool with it. They are managing both really well.
Okay.
And the college is helping them.
Okay. That's quite nice of the administration to understand the difficulty of the students. And is there any advice that you would like to give to the students who will be appearing for their various exams? Because you've already been through it, and you know the kind of pressure which is there on the final year students, because that is their last chance to improvise their grades and all. So, what are the do's and the don'ts that you would like to, suggest?
See, pro tip would be uh, don't take much tension about the marks. You have learned in these 3 or 4 years, whatever your course, the duration of course was, you have learned it. Be confident about it. Appear confidently, and do not take much stress. Just uh, try to take on whatever life is throwing at you confidently, and that is the mantra.
Mm-hmm.
Just go along the flow without taking stress.
Okay. Thank you, Shobit, for making time to share your mantras on e-logue despite your extremely hectic schedule.
Yeah, thank you for giving me this opportunity to talk. and hope all of you are doing really fine. Hope you and your family, everyone is good.
Yeah, thank you so much. And you too take care. Thank you. Our next guest is Souparni Paul from Kolkata, West Bengal. Currently, she's doing her studies from Delhi University. Recently, she has just appeared for her final year exams, and she's also been appearing for her entrance exams.
Hello, I'm fine. Thank you for having me.
Most welcome. So, Soparni, what are your views on the current situation in the sense like the students they have to step out of their houses to, and go to the exam center? So, since you have already appeared for a couple of entrance exams, so what
Yeah.
are your views? What was your experience?
Um. Okay. So my experience has been, a mixture of all the emotions because, of course, before stepping out of the house, given the situation, it was really very, you know, an anxious situation. So I was feeling worried and I was frustrated. But well, these are some things which you have to go through. For example, we cannot get into our master's colleges without entrances, so this is something we have to give. So yeah, before stepping out of my house, of course, I was a little worried, but also on the other hand, I was very much worried about my performance in the exam rather than the situation and my health issues. But of course, I took the necessary precautions, and it went well. It went smoothly, and the centers took all the precautions carefully. So yeah, in the end, I found that all that worry was actually not much use because after all, what does even worry give you, right? So yeah, it has been good. It has been good. It has not been bad.
Okay. And what was one thing that really helped you in lowering your anxiety?
Okay, so well, of course, the precautions which were taken by these centers really helped because I was relieved to see that people are serious about the situation. So for starters, our admit cards were printed with clear cut instructions about what would happen at the center, what we were supposed to do before going there and while giving the exams. While giving the exams. So that was a major relief. And once I went there, I saw that the center had made markers in the ground for standing with around 2-3 feet of distance in the line, and they had sanitizing stations. They had officials planted every now and then here and there, and they were providing us with fresh masks to put on before entering the center, and they had our temperatures checked with a thermogun. So these precautions really acted in lowering my anxiety because then I was sure that every person entering the center was at least checked thoroughly, and there was no fear of it contracting the virus. So I was pretty much relieved there.
Okay. What were the precautions that you took?
Okay, so I took my own personal hand sanitizer in a spray bottle. So even when we were told that our stations, our computer stations, would be sanitized before, but still I went there and I sat down and I used my spray bottle to sanitize the keyboard and the mouse. And even after the invigilator came and switched on my computer to the required portal, I did it again and I sanitized my desk. So just as an added precaution, I wore gloves as well, and I sanitized my hands now and then, and I refrained from touching my nose and mouth and eyes, of course. So yeah, these are some personal precautions which everyone should take. So yeah, I did all of these.
Okay, so once you were through with your exam and like you stepped out of the exam center, what was your feeling?
Okay, I was really relieved. Firstly, the exam was over, and secondly, because of the precautions taken by the center, because they were followed to the T. Everything which the admit card said that the center would be doing, the center did, and so I was pretty relieved that everything had been followed and all the precautions were taken, and all my fellow students were wearing masks all the time and wearing gloves and using their own sanitizers. So, and the invigilators were wearing face shields and masks, and there was sanitizing stations. So, I was really relieved that the exam was over, and yeah, so much time has passed, nothing has happened to me. So I think that went well. Okay. No, I'm glad that you're safe. Mhm. And another thing, is there anything that you feel that you worried about too much, about with something that you shouldn't have really thought about or given so much of thought to it? Okay, so personally, I was more bothered about my performance in the exam rather than, the situation. So, yeah, I was pretty anxious about my exam and what kind of questions they will ask and whether I'm prepared enough. So, but as far as the health issue goes, of course, I was worried about that as well. But then, of course, it all boiled down to something which was pretty useless because after all worry gives you nothing. So in the end, everybody being like me and everybody is trying their best to prevent contracting the virus. So I would suggest that worrying isn't of much help, and everybody should focus on their studies and more on reaching the exam center on time, because everybody is doing their level test to take the safety precautions needed. So, of course, after coming back, I felt that maybe I had overthought it, or maybe I had too much anxiety regarding my health issues. But yeah, in the end, everything went fine. I'm so glad to hear that. Uh, is there anything that you would like to, convey to other students, in the sense the students will be appearing for their exams? Any tips that you would like to share with them? Okay, so uh, okay, the students are asked to take their own personal water bottle and pen. So I would suggest they take transparent pens and transparent water bottles without any labels attached to them, because that would be the safest. And uh, yeah, I would suggest don't wear your expensive masks which you have bought from the market. Just wear a use and throw medical three-ply mask, because many times you might be asked to throw the mask away which you have brought from home and use the mask provided by the center before entering it. So it would feel really bad, right, if you threw away your own pretty mask into the bin and are made to wear that mask. So I would suggest wear a use and throw mask from home itself, because those function really well and they are cheap. They are really cheap, so that you won't feel bad while throwing it away. And I would also suggest that when you reach your station, just sanitize it thoroughly, even though you have been told that they are already sanitized. And when the invigilator comes and handles your mask, handles your mouse to open the monitor, just sanitize it again, and please avoid touching your eyes, nose, and mouth. And yeah, if you follow these precautions, I think you're good. Okay. Thank you so much, Souparni, for sharing your experience and these valuable tips. I'm sure a lot many students will benefit from what you have shared. Thank you so. Thank you. Pleasure's on mine. And thank you for being here with me. I hope you'll join me some other day for another conversation. Yeah, sure. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
A big thank you to Pushpam, Shobhit, and Souparni for sparing their valuable time to share their experience and success mantra. All of them seemed quite hopeful and optimistic despite the current situation and ready to take on the world. I wish them all the luck, and to all the students who will be appearing for the exams. In the next episode, I'll be in conversation with Senti Sungla Longchar, who is a clinical psychologist and also a faculty in the Department of Psychology, Lady Shri Ram College for Women, University of Delhi. She'll be talking about anxiety and exam related stress, so stay tuned and see you all next week.